What you're about to hear isn't just gossip. It's the story Hollywood prayed would never see daylight. It began with whispers, quiet interviews, cryptic posts, late-night confessions that no one took seriously. But now, the voices have joined together. Katt Williams, Jaguar Wright, Ray J, even Cardi B, 4 names. 4 worlds colliding in a storm the industry can't silence anymore. Katt's been warning us for years about secret rooms, silent deals, and powerful people pulling the strings. Jaguar Wright's been exposing what goes on after the cameras stop rolling. The parties, the contracts, the unspoken rules of fame. Ray J's name has floated through every scandal, every whisper, every dark corner of the entertainment empire. And Cardi B? She's seen the system from the inside out. The price of power. The cost of silence. Now, for the first time, their stories line up, piece by piece, forming a pattern too clear to ignore. A pattern that points to one thing: Hollywood's silent war. Because what if everything we thought we knew about fame, fortune, and freedom was a carefully staged illusion? What if the stars we adore are really just survivors of something far darker than fame? The lights are about to go out. And when they do, the truth will finally speak. This isn't a rumor. It's a reckoning. Stay tuned, because what's coming next will make you question everything you've ever believed about the world's most powerful industry. It started like a storm in slow motion. A simple podcast clip. A few unfiltered words from Katt Williams that shattered years of silence. The host had asked a harmless question about Hollywood, success, and staying relevant. Katt leaned back, eyes sharp, smile gone. "You don't stay in Hollywood," he said. "You survive it." The studio went still. Then he kept talking. "Y'all think this business is about talent. It's not. It's about obedience. You play the role they give you or they erase you. Period." That one quote set the internet on fire. Clips spread across Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, dissected, analyzed, slowed down, captioned with bold letters like, "Katt finally said it." But behind the scenes, something much bigger was already moving, because Katt wasn't alone. Jaguar Wright, the fiery soul singer who'd already risked everything by calling out hidden abuse and manipulation in the music industry, saw Katt's clip and went live that very night. Tears in her eyes, voice shaking, but powerful. "He's not lying," she said. "I've seen the rooms. I've heard the conversations. The contracts they make you sign don't just own your music. They own you." Thousands tuned in. Then tens of thousands. In less than 24 hours, the internet had turned into a digital courtroom. Fans on one side demanding truth, industry insiders scrambling for damage control. But it wasn't just talk. Katt and Jaguar started dropping hints, names, places, moments that connected the dots between seemingly unrelated scandals, blacklisted artists, mental breakdowns, mysterious deaths, and career-ending controversies that now seemed like deliberate takedowns. One name kept coming up in whispers: Ray J, the man everyone thought was just a celebrity businessman. Fun, chaotic, harmless, suddenly became a key piece in the puzzle. Because according to Jaguar, Ray J wasn't just a witness to the dark side of fame. He'd played the game and walked away with secrets that could break it. She claimed he'd been in meetings most artists never even heard about, gatherings where image deals and career swaps were negotiated like chess moves. "Ray J's not crazy," she said during one stream. "He's one of the few that saw behind the curtain and lived to talk about it." Days later, a clip surfaced. An old interview Ray J gave years ago, where he joked, "If I ever told y'all what really goes down in LA, they'd never let me back." People replayed that line like prophecy. Suddenly, everything started connecting. The parties, the leaked photos, the random feuds. Every moment that seemed accidental now looked intentional. And that's when the story took a turn. Because out of nowhere, Cardi B stepped in, not directly, but through a post that shook her 100 million followers. It was a single sentence. No context. "Y'all keep thinking these people got power. They just got permission." The internet exploded. Was Cardi confirming what Katt and Jaguar were saying? Or was it just coincidence? Her team didn't clarify. They never do. But within hours, Katt posted a cryptic response of his own. Somebody finally said it, and from that moment, silence turned into war. Behind the glitz and the filters, something was shifting. Influencers, bloggers, And insiders began dropping threads, receipts, and stories they'd kept buried for years. NDAs, hidden settlements, sudden rehab trips that lined up with canceled projects. Each clue pointed toward one undeniable truth. The same handful of people seemed to appear behind every major scandal in Hollywood. Names never printed, faces never shown, producers, lawyers, fixers. And every time someone got too close to exposing them, their career mysteriously crumbled. Jaguar put it bluntly in one live stream. Hollywood got its own church, its own police, its own justice. You don't leave that world clean, you either disappear, or you fight back. That line became a rallying cry. Hollywood's silent war started trending globally. People began compiling timelines, connecting Katt's past interviews, Jaguar's live streams, and even old Ray J appearances that suddenly seemed... Strategic podcasts started digging deeper. Why did Katt Williams really get blacklisted? What happened to Jaguar Wright after her first industry fallout? Why does Ray J always show up right before the headlines break? And through all of it, Cardi stayed silent, watching, liking posts, subtweeting cryptic emojis, a chess player in a game that was now too public to stop. Meanwhile, whispers began to spread about private calls between the four of them. Allegedly, Katt and Jaguar had reached out to Cardi, offering her a way out. To tell the story no one else dared to tell. But not everyone was happy. Because for every viewer cheering them on, there were powerful figures in boardrooms watching nervously and plotting their response. Suddenly, podcasts featuring Katt started vanishing. Clips from Jaguar's lives were flagged and removed. Ray G's old interviews got copyright claims overnight. It looked like someone was trying to erase the trail. But the internet never forgets. Screenshots, re-uploads, mirrors. The more they tried to hide it, the faster it spread. And at the center of it all, one final breadcrumb appeared. A leaked message thread between an anonymous insider and a known journalist. The message read, "They're about to drop something big." Not a rumor, evidence, real files. Watch who disappears next. Within hours, Jaguar Wright posted a video, eyes wide, voice calm, but heavy with warning. "They tried to scare me," she said. "They forgot, I ain't scared no more." She looked into the camera, paused, and added one final sentence. Part 2 starts when the silence breaks. Then, the screen cut to black. When Jaguar Wright dropped that final line, Part 2 starts when the silence breaks. Nobody expected what came next. The next morning, the internet looked like a battlefield. Headlines everywhere. Katt Williams and Jaguar Wright declare war on Hollywood. Ray J and Cardi B pulled into explosive new conspiracy. The hashtags weren't just trending. They were dominating. Hollywood silent war. Jaguar speaks. Katt was right, millions of views. Billions of impressions. The mainstream news stayed quiet. But that silence only made the story louder. Because now something unprecedented was happening. The people were doing the investigating. Reddit threads turned into archives. TikTok creators dissected audio clips frame by frame. Even podcasts in other countries began calling it the biggest entertainment cover-up since Epstein. And then came the first real proof, a 45-second audio file, leaked anonymously to a mid-sized YouTube channel, claiming to show an A-list producer discussing career exchanges, swapping roles in awards between compliant stars. The voice was disguised, but one phrase sent shivers through everyone who heard it. They signed for fame, not freedom. That line alone was enough to detonate a cultural explosion. Jaguar went live again, this time more composed, her tone almost journalistic. "You're finally hearing what I've been screaming for years," she said. "This isn't just music. This is a system. And once you're in, there's no out without blood or silence." Behind her, comments flew by like confetti. "Expose them all. We stand with you. Protect Jaguar at all costs." Katt Williams joined in days later on a comedy tour stop in Atlanta. The crowd expected jokes. They got a sermon. "Every time I told the truth," he said, pacing the stage, "they called it crazy. But look who's crazy now. The same folks who said stay quiet are panicking. Because you can't stop truth when people start listening." The audience roared, phones up, recording every second. Clips of that performance flooded social media within hours, and that's when Ray J finally spoke. Not in an interview. Not in a podcast. But in an Instagram Live. Unannounced, raw, emotional. In an Instagram Live, unannounced, raw, emotional. He didn't name names, but he didn't have to. He talked about contracts that looked like blessings but felt like chains. He talked about watching friends change after private meetings. He talked about being in rooms where power decided who would rise and who would disappear. His eyes were red, his voice cracking. Y'all think I'm playing? They don't just take your money, they take your story. The comments exploded. He's confirming it. Hollywood's shaking right now. And somewhere in the chaos, a subtle tweet appeared from Cardi B again. It simply read, "They can't silence all of us." That was it. One line, but it was enough. The tweet hit over 5 million views in a day. Suddenly, other artists, small, mid-tier, forgotten, began posting vague messages too. A DJ, who'd once toured with major rappers, wrote, "Everything they said is real." A makeup artist posted, "The parties aren't just parties." And one retired producer tweeted, "Been waiting for someone brave enough to say it. I hope they make it." But courage came with consequences. 2 days later, Jaguar's YouTube channel vanished. Her Instagram locked. Her latest live wiped within minutes. Fans were furious. Why are they deleting her? Who's behind this? Katt went silent for 48 hours, then dropped a surprise podcast appearance on an independent platform. He looked tired but sharper than ever. "They think they can erase us," he said, "but we already lit the match." Meanwhile, tabloids began releasing counter-stories. Jaguar Wright suffers mental breakdown. Katt Williams facing IRS investigation. Ray J's claims called delusional by sources close to the industry. Classic damage control. But this time, the people didn't buy it. Because for every denial, someone else came forward. A background dancer, a tour assistant, a lighting tech. All confirming strange ritual-like after-parties, sealed NDAs, and artists who returned from private meetings different. The narrative was slipping from corporate hands. And then, the protests began. It started outside an old record label office in L.A. Just a handful of fans with signs reading, "We believe Jaguar and free the truth." By the weekend, it had spread to New York, Atlanta, and even London. Hundreds chanting, streaming live, waving posters of Katt, Jaguar, and Ray J as whistleblowers of the modern era. Mainstream outlets could no longer ignore it. CNN ran a 2-minute piece calling it a digital era conspiracy theory. But their attempt to dismiss it backfired, because the segment only made more people curious. Podcasts exploded with speculation. Was this about secret societies? Industry blackmail? Government ties? Even seasoned journalists admitted off-record. Something strange is definitely happening behind closed doors. Meanwhile, whispers spread that Jaguar had gone underground, in hiding or maybe preparing something massive. Because one night, a message appeared on her secondary Twitter. "They tried to bury me. They forgot I kept the files." Within minutes, fans started decoding what files meant. Some said it was unreleased music. Others believed it was proof, real, recorded evidence of what happens at the top. Then, like clockwork, Ray J vanished from social media. Every account deactivated. No posts, no explanation. Conspiracy forums went wild. He's been silenced. He's in hiding. He's with Jaguar. And somewhere amid the noise, one low-resolution video surfaced. Shaky footage showing Ray J and Jaguar in what looked like a parking garage, speaking quietly beside a black SUV. The clip lasted 10 seconds, but one line was clear: "If we drop this, there's no going back." That video hit 1 million views in under an hour. Suddenly, the narrative shifted again, from speculation to revolution. People weren't just talking about Hollywood's secrets anymore. They were demanding exposure. Protest signs now read, "Release the files." Petitions gained hundreds of thousands of signatures. Fan-made documentaries began circulating, connecting years of scandals, all back to the same elite network controlling fame and fortune. Through it all, Cardi B stayed silent. Until she didn't. She posted a single haunting video, just her face, no makeup, no filters, staring into the camera. "You ever realize how loud it gets right before they try to shut you up?" Then she smiled. And the screen went black. Within seconds, millions of fans flooded her comments, "We hear you. We won't stop." Hollywood's silent war forever. By now, even government officials were being asked to comment. Does Hollywood really hold influence beyond entertainment? They dodged every question. But behind those denials, insiders claimed quiet panic was spreading in Washington and LA alike, because Katt and Jaguar's crusade had crossed a line. It wasn't about celebrity anymore. It was about control. Who has it? Who enforces it? And what happens when someone dares to defy it? The stage was set for the confrontation no one thought would happen. Because, as one anonymous source whispered to a blogger that night, the next video won't be words, it'll be proof. And that's where everything was about to explode. The world didn't sleep that night. Phones buzzed, notifications lit up every screen. Because Jaguar Wright had just posted 4 words that stopped the internet cold. Tonight, midnight, we go live. No hashtags, no teasers, just those words. But in the age of digital chaos, that was enough. By 11:30 p.m., over 1 million people were waiting on her YouTube backup channel. No intro, no music. Just a black screen with the words, Hollywood's silent war, the evidence. Then, the screen flickered. Jaguar appeared, sitting in a dimly lit room, a hard drive on the table beside her. Her face was calm, determined. You could tell she knew this might be the last time she'd ever speak publicly. "I've been trying to tell y'all for years," she began softly. "But every time I got close, somebody got hurt or somebody disappeared. But not tonight. Not anymore." The comments flew in by the thousands. "We're with you. Don't stop. Drop the truth." She held up the hard drive. "This right here," she said, "is every contract, every text, every video I've collected over 15 years in this business. You'll see the same names, the same signatures, the same lies." The chat exploded. Jaguar continued, her voice steady. "It's not just about me. It's about Katt, about Ray J, about every artist who was silenced, destroyed, or erased because they didn't play the game." Then she pressed play. What followed wasn't a documentary. It was a detonation. Clips and emails, screen recordings and voice notes, conversations about loyalty deals, about silence fees, about reprogramming artists who resist. None of the faces were fully shown. None of the names fully spoken. But the voices were real. Recognizable, unmistakable. The internet went into meltdown. People began matching timestamps, identifying the voices, even comparing speech patterns. Fans discovered one of the recordings dated back to an infamous private party from 2018, the same event linked to multiple celebrity breakdowns. Every theory that once sounded crazy suddenly looked possible, and then halfway through the stream, the screen glitched. Jaguar froze mid-sentence. Static. The chat went wild. "They're shutting her down. Stay live. Save the video." Within seconds, the stream was cut off. Gone. But the internet moved faster. Mirrors appeared instantly. Hundreds of users had screen recorded it. The video was now unstoppable. Twitter erupted. TikTok flooded with breakdowns. Even verified celebrities started dropping cryptic reactions. An eye emoji, a lock, a flame. They knew. Everyone knew. And right when it seemed like Jaguar had vanished again. Katt Williams went live from his tour bus. "This is what they were afraid of," he said. "The truth ain't hidden anymore, it's viral." He paused, staring into the camera. "They wanted silence, but we gave them a soundtrack." That clip hit 10 million views in 6 hours. Meanwhile, mainstream networks scrambled to respond. Some called it a deepfake scandal. Others tried to discredit the leaks, claiming fabrication and AI manipulation. But too many people had seen it already. Too many people had heard the voices. Ray J's sister, Brandy, posted one cryptic line on her story. "They thought we'd forget." Cardi B, who'd been quiet for days, finally returned with a short video. No words, just her walking through a hallway, stopping at a mirror. She looked into the camera and whispered, "They told me I'd lose everything if I talked. I guess it's time to find out." The internet went nuclear. Cardi Speaks became the #1 global trend. Within hours, she went live too, confirming that she'd seen the system up close. She didn't name anyone, but her tone said it all. "They make you believe you're free," she said. "But fame is a cage. And some of us finally found the key." Millions watched, speechless. This wasn't just celebrity drama anymore. It was revolt. Within days, protests reignited, this time worldwide. People gathered outside studios, record labels, and streaming headquarters chanting, "We want truth and free the artists." Documentaries popped up overnight. Investigative journalists began requesting statements from major studios, and anonymous sources started confirming, yes, those files were real. But with exposure came chaos. Chaos. Certain celebrity accounts vanished overnight. Some executives resigned quietly. Lawsuits appeared, then disappeared just as fast. And then, something even stranger happened. Government officials began hinting at digital interference, suggesting that what Jaguar leaked might overlap with federal investigations. Suddenly, the entertainment story wasn't just about fame, it was about power, influence, and the control of public perception. Katt Williams summed it up in one chilling line. "This ain't about Hollywood anymore. This is about who runs reality." And that's when it hit everyone watching. This was bigger than celebrity. It was about who decides what truth even means. Jaguar resurfaced days later in a voice message shared by an independent journalist. "You can take my platforms," she said. "You can erase my videos. But you can't unsee the truth. It's out now. It's in the people's hands." The message ended with static. And then a second voice, Ray J's, whispering, "It's not over." This is just the beginning. That single phrase became the rallying cry of an entire movement. Fans began referring to it as the Great Unmasking. Creators started new channels dedicated solely to exposing hidden truths in entertainment. For once, the system couldn't bury the story fast enough because it was everywhere, told by millions instead of one. And yet, amid all the chaos, one final mystery remained. An encrypted file labeled Final Cut Truth.mp4 began circulating in underground forums, allegedly containing the unedited version of Jaguar's stream. No one knew who uploaded it, but the last frame reportedly showed a folder titled Project Phoenix. Insiders claimed it wasn't just about celebrities. It connected politicians, corporations, and global power players. But before anyone could confirm, the file vanished from every server. Deleted, wiped clean, all except one small backup, hidden in an anonymous cloud. And beneath it, a single message appeared. The next drop, 11/11. That timestamp, 11/11, became a new obsession. Was it a date? A code? A time? Nobody knew. But everyone was waiting, because by now it was clear the story wasn't over. Not even close. Hollywood's silent war had turned into an all-out rebellion. And as one journalist wrote in the aftermath, "When the lies fall, the world doesn't end. It just wakes up." Now you've heard it. The story that Hollywood never wanted you to know. The whispers, the warnings, the confessions, and the moment when silence finally broke. Katt Williams, Jaguar Wright, Ray J, Cardi B. 4 voices who risked everything to pull back the curtain on the most powerful entertainment machine in the world. But here's the real question. Do you believe them? Because if even half of what they revealed is true, then nothing about fame, fortune, or the world of entertainment will ever look the same again. We've seen artists rise overnight and vanish just as fast. We've watched scandals appear out of nowhere and disappear even quicker. And now, for the first time, we're being told why. The system isn't just about music, movies, or media. It's about control. Who gets the spotlight, who gets erased, and who decides what truth is allowed to survive. So now the choice is yours. Do you stay silent? Or do you keep the conversation alive? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Whose side are you on? Do you think this was all coincidence, or have we finally reached the point where the truth can't be buried anymore? And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. Because what's coming next won't be shown on the news. You won't see it in interviews or on glossy magazine covers. You'll see it here, raw, unfiltered, and unapologetically real. Share this video with anyone who still believes Hollywood is just a dream factory. Show them what happens when the dream turns into a weapon. Because this isn't just a story about celebrities. It's a warning about power, silence, and the cost of truth. The war for reality has already begun, and we're just getting started. The story isn't ending. It's only beginning. It's only beginning.